So financial literacy is not only about uh, you know having the abundance, having the money, and having all this wealth. It's about understanding, how to manage your wealth and how to multiply it, how to make it grow. So it's not just, hey, I'm making six figures a year. I am wealth, right? No, it's about once you get those six figures, knowing what to do with it. So financial literacy is mostly about preparing yourself and understanding, educating yourself. So when you have this influx and you have these opportunities. Hey, we're back here and just want to jump on real quick and share my thoughts here today as we go on here in the channel. And I'm a big advocate of trying to, as much as you can, trying to put away and invest for your futures and build your wealth. And the day, I think it's kind of funny because I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and there's like there's like a scientific name for it, but it's like, you ever realize that when let's say when you want to buy your first car or a car you really want, right? And you start saving up for it, you start like googling and you start looking up prices on Caravana, on Kelly Blue Book, and you're really dedicated to this car. And prior to that, you never really saw the car like in your neighborhood, you never really saw it around anywhere. But now you're just like, since you've been wanting this car, you've been seeing it so much. You've been seeing it especially around town. You've been seeing it a lot. For some reason, you see it even when you're crossing the street. A lot of people driving it, and the car just shows up a lot, right? And they were saying this is a theory that it's not because that it wasn't there before. It's just that you started focusing on it. So now you start seeing it. So it's like, I feel like for us, for anybody that's just building their wealth and they're doing it on their own, as they say, right? Putting every single day one step forward to build, either it's for your retirement, whether it's for your family, generational wealth, whether it's for long-term financial independency and obviously financial freedom. Once you start learning and you start discovering other people talking about it and you start reading about it and you start like really diving yourself into it, it becomes a lot more noticeable. You start seeing it more. You start becoming more aware of, your actions and your personal finances and how you're gonna, you might be getting some new money coming here from that. You might just be getting more additional income and what you're gonna do with it. And you start planning out your income, as opposed to before, you would just, money came in and money went out. There was no really direction, no really plan for it. And I think once you start really working on the fundamentals of building your wealth, obviously, and starting to save and invest for your future, and become more of a, obviously, an investor, and start to accumulate for yourself and your family a lot more future freedom, it becomes more of a mindset, and it's something that we have to not forget. The Most of us are operating on thoughts, and the power of our thought is something so powerful. Like I said in my other videos earlier on my channel, I used to really talk about how your thoughts and your power of controlling and at least directing your thoughts and focusing on things that are really gonna, focus on yourself and what you're gonna really do for yourself. The power it plays in our lives and how we deal and move in our lives. And whether they say whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And when it comes to investing and investing as far as, for yourself, whether you believe you can do it and start it and learn about it, it's up to you. And today I had a little bit of an epiphany because obviously we're always constantly growing, right? Life has changed. We're never the same person. You can go back to your high school, be put in the same scenario at your age now, but you're just a different person. You're never the same person, right? You might be the same physical name, even some of the same actions, but you're not the same person. You're a different individual. You're always evolving. So when it comes to our personal finances, educating yourself is so crucial, and financial literacy is so crucial because when life starts bringing you opportunities and starts bringing you a massive influx of cash flow, and when you have the financial literacy, you understand what you're gonna do with it, right? Not so much of what what you're not supposed to do with it. Obviously, you're gonna know that, but at the same time, you can understand what vehicles to put it in so it can grow and work harder for you. So financial literacy is not only about uh, you know having the abundance, having the money, and having all this wealth. It's about understanding how to manage your wealth and how to multiply it, how to make it grow. So it's not just, hey, I'm making six figures a year. I am wealth, right? No, it's about once you get those six figures, knowing what to do with it. So financial literacy is mostly about preparing yourself and understanding, educating yourself. So when you have this influx and you have these opportunities, you can be diligent and be purposeful, right? And when in today's obviously no bigger day than today, the stimulus package was another one was passed, and a lot of us, as I said in my other video, stimulus and all these great incentives we get from the government are great. They help us. They're gonna help a lot of individuals of us that need, for myself, loss of jobs, individuals that are going hungry, that are not able to put money or provide for the family. This is gonna be wonders, and I think we needed it. We needed a great push to for faith and hope in our country, and hopefully, this is like what we needed to keep propel us to bounce back, right? But don't forget, a lot of individuals thrived in this last year, right? They didn't suffer from all these economic things that happened because of this year, but a lot of individuals thrive. So mentally, something that might be bad for somebody else might be great for someone else. And with this stimulus coming in right now, let's understand that it's a blessing to a lot of us. And what I was noticing today when I finally went to, I haven't been to the salon for the hairstylist for like a year. And yes, my hair was due and my hair is crazy. So I finally got it trimmed. and and I was around other individuals, and once the news came in, a lot of individuals were just thinking about, wow, they already have plans to what they do with their money, right? And the difference that I realized that I'm a different individual than I was last year was that, as a young male in the minority community, the first time you get influx of any extra money, the first thing you do with it is you're gonna spend it, right? You're gonna buy yourself new clothes, new gear, new sneakers. I put so much money into my old junk cars, can't even remember. You put a new sound system for us guys. A lot of people go and set up their new getaway. The whole thing is that for us, if you're not financially literate, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna start planning how you're gonna spend it. There's no plan for how can we invest it, how can we grow it, how can we use it to benefit us in the future, and of course use part of it for us. Our right now, if you need it, I understand we need it. You need to pay your bills, save up, put away for an emergency. So obviously, once all those things are taken care of, then what's the next step? And the next step, I believe, that a lot of us are missing, including myself, a couple of years back, is to educate ourselves in how can we make our money that they're getting, how can we make it grow? How can we make it work? And as opposed to just obviously just put it away, and after that, what can we do? And I think most of us, I know for myself, growing up in minority communities, we don't know what to do with that. We don't know where to put it. What's the best options? What are our risk factors, right? We don't know some of us don't believe or understand what is investing, right? Some people, I know for myself, the only way you thought you can invest, which would be to maybe start your own business and put money into your business. Hopefully you make that money back. Or maybe try to buy a real estate, buy a house. We have a limited, I think, options of what to do with our money. And I think there's no time better than now to educate ourselves, right? And start looking up some books. You have, I got a little book back there. Think and Grow Rich was I think one of the ultimate books to fix our mindsets and to open up our minds and understand that we're much more than we think we are. Where we are now is just part of the whole grand scheme of things, right? But pick up some books. Plan now. Your money's coming in now. Do your due diligence. Understand what you're gonna do with it. And I hope for the most part, it's a little bit of an anchor for most of us to start getting our feet wet and putting money for our futures and investing. Whether that be into your retirement accounts, whether it to be into a brokerage account, whether it be into real estate investments, whatever your preference is, but putting our money to work. And we work so hard for our money, right? Most of us bust our butts for our money. So understanding that we can put our money to work for us 24/7 is probably one of the biggest life-changing, mind-blowing for yourself. I think once you understand it and once you start practicing, it's hard to go back to put your money somewhere that's not going to give you anything back. So I believe that when there's no greater time, there's no greater place to start learning and start taking action. And I hope that for all of us that are here listening to all my millennials, Gen Zers, you're learning from our mistakes and learning that obviously the sooner and earlier you educate yourself, I said in other videos, the importance of financial literacy is a lot more, I think it's not really talked about much, because obviously if we all were financial literate, a lot of our economy probably wouldn't I would say survive, because a lot of the things that we buy would be like, well, we don't want to buy them, and it wouldn't be as thriving as it is. But I still think we can all thrive. There's no give or take, but listen and educate yourself, because what we do with our years early on will pay us in our years later on. So the importance of handling your own personal finances. So go out there, get some financial literacy. And I'm gonna do a book probably next week or so about a video about some books that I've read that kind of changed my mind and helped me out with when it comes to financial literacy. So I hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you next video. Peace.